everyone, my name is Molly, and joining me today, I have Dr. Nnamdi. Nnamdi, are you in?
Yes, hello. Hi, Molly.
Hi, Nnamdi, nice to see you.
Thank you.
I'll get started with the presentation, just with the, the beginning, and then I'll come back to you in a bit, all right?
Okay, thank you.
Perfect, right, see you in a bit. So guys, my name is Molly and I am a project manager at Study Medicine Europe, and I will be doing the welcome and just the beginning of the presentation, and then Nnamdi will join us in a bit. Welcome to SME Symposium. Today's symposium is on GMC Registration and UKFP, that is UK Foundation Programme. So what do we do? What are these? They're monthly webinars that we will do dedicated to keeping you up to date on relevant and important medical topics. Everyone is welcome if you're a Medicine Europe student, and if you're not, that's perfectly fine. You can join. They are free, so always share the links, guys. And there will be a question and answer at the end, and there will be a bit more. I'll explain that in a minute. So joining me today, I have Dr. Nnamdi Adoma. He's a medical graduate from New Vision University in Georgia. He has got he's got GMC registration at the moment, but what he's doing is he's currently sitting for his PLAB exams. So he'll be going into that a little bit today. Main focus will be GMC registration and the foundation programs, FY1 and FY2. So he'll be joining us in a little bit. Event program, I'll just go through that really quickly. So we've started now. I'm allowed to have the first 10 minutes to eat your brains, just to introduce everything. And then about 12:10, or as soon as possible, Nnamdi will start the presentation that he's created for today. Once the presentation finishes around 1 o'clock, we'll have a question and answer. And the question and answer, I will do my best to answer questions, and so will Nnamdi. Also, I recommend that you guys do stay towards the end, because I will be doing the scholarships as well. So we have 5 scholarships for 50% at New Vision University. I'll explain that towards the end of the presentation here, and I will randomly pick 5 students to go through those. So we'll do that, and after that, we'll talk about feedback and a few other things. And I also have some lecturer stuff that I can inform you about at the end. So what we'll do now is we will go back to Nnamdi.
All right, thank you, Molly. Hi, everyone. My name is Nnamdi Adoma. I'm a medical graduate from New Vision University. I'm currently trying to sit for my PLAB exams in order for me to enroll in eligible FY1, or that is Foundation Year 1 or Foundation Year 2 program in the UK. I'm here to talk about the GMC registration and UKFP, which stands for the UK Foundation Program. I will just begin with a little introduction about the GMC registration, and then we move on gradually to the UK Foundation Program. The GMC stands for the General Medical Council. The General Medical Council is the organization responsible for maintaining patient safety and regulating the medical practice in the UK. So it's the responsibility of the GMC to ensure that every medical practitioner that intends to work in the UK is properly registered and has the capacity to treat patients to the optimum standard. As a result, it's compulsory for every medical professional in the UK to have a GMC registration prior to working in the UK as a doctor. Every doctor seeking for a GMC registration must meet specified requirements. I'll be talking about this in the next slides. There are actually 2 forms of GMC registration. You have the provisional registration and the full registration. I will dive into both, but today my focus is on the provisional registration as it relates to the UK Foundation Program. Just a note that registration with the GMC is not synonymous to a UK job offer. What this implies is that having registered with the GMC, you still ought to apply for jobs for those who are fully registered in order to get a job to work in the UK as a doctor. For those who are seeking to use the foundation program as a route into working in the UK, you have to apply for eligibility, and then if you're deemed eligible, then you can apply for the UK Foundation Program. Now we move on to the next slide where I talk more about GMC registration. How to register with the GMC. There are criteria that need to be met by both the applicant and the primary medical qualification institution in order for the applicant to be deemed eligible for GMC registration. For EU and non-EU graduates from non-EU medical schools, your university, which is your primary medical qualification body, your sponsor, have to be registered in the World Directory of Medical Schools. And you have to meet a minimum of at least 5,500 clock hours, which includes lectures and practicals. This number of hours do not include time spent in personal study or other aspects of activities that have to do with your studies, strictly just lectures and practicals alone. For internship, which is not compulsory for those seeking provisional registration, for those who have internship already, you have to seek for full registration, which means you are not eligible to apply for the 2-year foundation program. But the GMC criteria for internship is that it must be a 12 months continuous medical practice. And also you might be eligible for annual leave, but it shouldn't be more than 20 days. And this includes annual leave, which is in some cases will be up to 5 weeks. So these are the two criteria that needs to be met. First of all, 12 months continuous medical practice. And in addition to that, you must not have more than 20 days of absence from internship, which includes annual leave. In some cases, it's up to 5 weeks. You have to pass PLAB 1 and PLAB 2. As we already know, or for those of you who haven't heard, from 2024, the PLAB 1 and PLAB 2 will be replaced by the UK Medical Licensing Assessment, which is UKMLA, that is from 2024. So prior to that, we still have the PLAB 1 and PLAB 2, that it could still suffice as it is presently. You also need to show your proof of English proficiency. And in this case, the IELTS or OET exam either could suffice for English language proficiency. And for the GMC, for the IELTS, you need a minimum of 7 in each section and nothing less than a 7.5 overall. For the OET, you need at least a 350 in each section and at least a 350 overall. So those are the requirements, according to my knowledge thus far. For graduates from EU medical schools, EU graduates specifically from EU medical schools, you have automatic registration until 2023. And as I mentioned previously, the UKMLA will be replacing the PLAB in 2024. So you do not need to sit for the PLAB exams if you are an EU graduate from an EU medical school. But however, we understand that the GMC is quite strict when it comes to the English language proficiency. And the criteria for English language proficiency has to do with the country in which the medical school is situated or located. If the country has less than 75% of its population, of her population, proficient in English, candidates from such institution or from such countries would have to, unfortunately, sit for the English proficiency exam, which is the IELTS or OET exam. And also, if the country's first language isn't English, then there is a chance that the GMC will demand or request that you have to sit for the IELTS or OET exam. What I'm just trying to say here is that the GMC are quite strict when it comes to English proficiency. So my advice to intending applicants to the UK Foundation Program or GMC for those seeking GMC registration is just to get the English language proficiency exam sorted prior to seeking registration with the GMC, as this will save you lots of stress and surprises along the way. For non-EU graduates from EU medical schools, you have to sit for the PLAB 1 and 2 and UKMLA from 2024 because you are not EU, so you have to sit for PLAB exams. Also, the IELTS and OET exam, the English proficiency exam still applies. In this case, for those who may have pending questions from this, I understand it can be quite confusing because you might have some new information. Just keep your questions until the end and I'll be willing to answer them. Now let's move on to the steps for the GMC registration. First of all, you need to complete an application by creating an account on GMC Online. Then you need to send an email to the GMC, and you must attach files such as the diploma, which is a medical degree certificate, your diploma supplement transcript, and a completed primary medical qualification form. In this form, which is usually sent by the GMC, or you could download it online as well, make sure you're downloading the most up-to-date version of the form. You will be requested to attach some documents together with this form, and everything, including the diploma and the transcripts, must be submitted as one PDF file to the requisite email by the GMC. And the person ought to have passed their IELTS or OET for English language proficiency for those who have identified that they need to write the English proficiency exam because of their country of primary medical qualification. PLAB 1 and PLAB 2, we apply for those who are also seeking registration, like I mentioned, especially for non-EU and for non-EU graduates in EU institutions. Registration, the duration it takes to register with the GMC varies per applicant. However, the GMC did mention that they do not intend to keep any application for more than 3 months. So what this implies is that you have to be prompt with replying to GMC emails so as to facilitate the process and ensure that it does not exceed the 3 months period for application. However, concessions can be made in certain cases where maybe the institutions aren't quick to replying emails, or the applicants need to get documents to support their application. For the 3 months is sort of the mark for the GMC to go through with the registration process for applicants. Types of registration, you have the full registration, you have the provisional registration. For the full registration, this is applicable to those who have completed an internship year. And I did mention the criteria, the GMC criteria for their pattern of internship, which is 12 months of continuous medical practice, in addition to not having been absent for more than 20 days, which includes annual leaves in some cases, which could be up to 5 weeks. Full registration with the GMC leads to eligibility to join an approved Foundation Year 2 program or seek for local job in the UK. Like I did mention, registration with the GMC doesn't apply to being offered a job, because the GMC is just a regulatory body for doctors in the UK, and they are not in the position to offer jobs to doctors. So having registered with the GMC as a fully registered doctor, you still need to apply for jobs and pass the necessary interviews and other checks in order to work in the UK as a doctor. Today we'll be focusing on the provisional registration with the GMC, which leads to eligibility to join an approved Foundation Year 1 program, which is the 2-year foundation program. For this applies to applicants who haven't completed an internship or who haven't completed a GMC pattern of internship, because the GMC have to approve your internship in order to deem whether you are eligible for the full registration or provisional registration based on the information you provide during the registration process. Okay, let's just take a sip of water before we proceed. Thank you. Now, moving on to talking more about the provisional registration process as it relates to the UK Foundation program. Now, we'll be shifting more focus on the UK Foundation program. As I've already stated, that the provisional registration applies to the 2-year UK Foundation program. We have before now 4 types of the UK Foundation program, but it has been streamlined to 3, because the specialized foundation program is the same as the academic foundation program. You also have the foundation priority program and the psychiatry foundation fellowship. However, applicants to the UK Foundation program must first of all apply to a generic program, which is the UK Foundation program. Having been deemed eligible to apply for the foundation program, when you open your application, when you open an account via Oriel, which is ORIEL, Oriel, that's when you'll be able to now apply for this specific types of foundation program. But initially, you apply to a generic program, which is the UK Foundation, the 2-year UK Foundation program. The Foundation Priority Program is a program that is targeting less accessible areas in the UK where they lack doctors because of maybe the location, or it could be as a result of It just has to do with the fact that most people wouldn't want to go to such places for whatever reasons. So it's a way of attracting applicants to such to such places. And they usually give a lot of incentives. Some could be cash incentives, some could be accommodation. It's just a way to try to encourage people to apply to such places. For the specialized foundation program, this type of foundation program is usually intertwined with an academic study, which means you could be doing a foundation program at the same time, doing some research, maybe clinical audits and stuff, which will contribute towards your overall knowledge as a doctor. However, in addition to this, you still need to meet the core competencies required of a UK Foundation program doctor. For the Psychiatric Foundation Fellowship, this is just a route into getting into the specialty of psychiatry, as well as also meeting the core competencies of the foundation program. Now, there are two steps to applying for the UK Foundation program. The first step is the eligibility application process, and the second step is the national application window. Now, for international medical graduates like myself who intend to apply for the foundation program, I would have to first of all apply during the eligibility application process. Then, if I am deemed eligible, then I could now apply. I would be given conditions, then I could, and given permission to apply for the application for the UK Foundation program when the national application window opens to both UK graduates and international medical graduates. Eligibility application process usually comes with conditions, which I will be talking about in subsequent slides. And bear in mind that UK Foundation program application is usually done via Orel, which is the website that is also responsible for taking care of whatever has to do with the UK Foundation program and jobs in the UK as a medical doctor. It also has a lot of link with health education in England for those in the lab sciences who are also seeking for jobs in the UK. Now, going into detail with the eligibility application process as it concerns international medical graduates like myself and a few others, some others watching, if that applies to you as well. So pay attention to this. Now, I talked about condition, and I talked about the criteria. These are the sets of documents that you need to attach to your eligibility application process to enable the UK Foundation Program Office to assess your application and decide whether or not you're eligible to apply for the UK Foundation Program. The first document is the Dean Statement. This is usually sent it's usually in the UK Foundation Program website, and the applicants are usually advised to download the most up-to-date one, which you will send to your medical institution, that is your medical school. And for those who are still in school, but who will be graduating that year prior to the start of the eligibility application window, of the eligibility application of the UK Foundation Program application, you will have to send this Dean Statement to your Dean, and your Dean would either fill it him or herself, or would nominate another official to fill the Dean Statement. And I'll be going into details of the Dean Statement when I begin to talk about how the UK Foundation Program Office matches applicants to units of application and then foundation program schools. Now, the Dean Statement contains certain scores that the UK Foundation Program uses to judge applicants based on meritocratic the system. We talk about the educational performance measure decile scores. You also talk about the additional educational achievements, and then you talk about publications as well. So which is usually maximum of 50 points for that. Now you also need your medical degree evidence. For those who do not have the medical degree evidence, so long as you'll be graduating from medical school by October of the application year, I think there is a concession for that. So you wouldn't have to worry so much about that, or worry at all. For the language skills, for those whose medical institutions or their primary medical qualification bodies are in countries that are not recognized by the UK as English-speaking countries, you have to sit for the IELTS or OET exams. And like I mentioned, the IELTS and OET results or band scores are different for both the GMC and the UK Foundation program, which I mentioned that for the GMC, for the IELTS, you need to score at least nothing less than a 7 in each band and 7.5 overall. And for OET, you need not to score anything less than 350 in each band and 350 overall. While for the UK Foundation program, you need not to score nothing less than 7.5 in each band and 7.5 overall. While for OET, you need not to score nothing less than 400 and 400 overall. So if you've confirmed that the country where your medical school is located isn't a recognized English-speaking country, or you don't have more than 75% of the population as English as native speakers, then I advise that you get your English language exam done as soon as possible if you intend to apply for the foundation program for 2023, which will be opening sometime in July, August this year, 2022. You also need a valid copy of your passport, as you need to upload your passport biodata page. You also need to meet the GMC compliance, which is usually proof of PLAB 1 booking. For those who are yet to book their PLAB 1, the UK Foundation program usually gives priority to applicants of the UK Foundation program, and then they could relate with the GMC, which will enable the GMC create more bookings for those who have to apply to the foundation program. So you need not worry about that as well, because that's really considered. At this point, I just hope everyone is paying attention, because I know it could be quite boring. Take a sip of water with me and let's go. Okay, for those now who have been deemed eligible, having submitted the documents I mentioned in the previous slide, who have been deemed eligible by the UK Foundation Program Office. The eligibility, like I said, usually comes with conditions. And these conditions are as follows. You would get an email stating that they've checked your application and you have been deemed eligible to apply for the UK Foundation Program for the subsequent year. However, you need to meet certain conditions. So you'll be advised to log into your Oriel account, and you may see conditions which vary per applicant. For certain persons who have graduated from medical school 2 years prior to the start of the foundation program, you need to sit for the clinical skills assessment, which usually holds sometimes in November or October. For every applicant, you have to sit the situational judgment tests, which is 50% of your overall foundation program scores. So you have to pass this exam, and then the UK Foundation Program Office will round it up to a 50% mark, which when added to the educational performance measure makes it 100, because it's a 50-50 ratio. For some applicants who haven't sat the PLAB 1 exam, especially for non-EU graduates from EU medical schools and non-EU graduates from non-EU medical schools, you have to pass your PLAB 1 for those who haven't passed their PLAB 1. And you also have to pass your PLAB 2 for those who haven't passed their PLAB 2. So these are the conditions that usually come with being deemed eligible by the UK Foundation Program Office. How the UKFPO match applicants to the foundation program. Like I mentioned earlier, the UK Foundation Program is a meritocratic system. So applicants are matched on a merit basis. So in order for them to do this in a fair and just and a just manner, they usually use a set of scores, which includes the educational performance measure decile score, the situational judgment test score, total educational achievement score, and the total educational performance measure score, which when added together, we give the foundation program total score plus the HDT. Like I mentioned earlier, it's a 50-50 ratio for this. Now, how does this relate to the other documents I mentioned when it comes to the eligibility application process? You remember I mentioned that the eligibility application process, you have to upload your dean statement from your medical school dean or a nominated official. That document contains the educational performance measure decile score and the additional educational achievements or publication. However, I'll be focusing now on the educational performance measure decile score. For each medical school, there is usually what they call a year group. A year group could be in hundreds, and it depends on how big the medical school is and how the class, how large the class size is. For example, if you have 100 students in a year group, they'll be divided into deciles, which is tens. So for those in the first decile, if it's 100, which means 91 to 100, they will have a maximum score of 43, because it's usually 34 to 43 for the decile score. For those in the second decile, which is 81 to 90, they will have a score of 42. The maximum score for the decile score is 43. And how are medical schools able to rank their graduates? They usually use is usually based on your performance in medical school. So for top performing graduates who are usually top of their class or thereabout, so you end up in the first decile. If you're among the first 10 students, that's the first decile. First 20 students, that is 11 to 20, you end up in the second decile. So that's how they are able to allocate these scores, the decile score for the year group, which I mentioned. The least decile score an applicant can get is 34. It doesn't matter what decile you belong, the least you can get is 34. So the decile score is from 34 to 43. For the situational judgment test, the UK Foundation Program Office liaises with the Pearson VUE exam providers. So you'll be sent a link to register with Pearson VUE, and also you'll be able to select a date depending on the date that the UK Foundation Program has made available for sitting the situational judgment test. It's usually sometime in the first one, usually sometime in December, and then you have another batch right in January of the foundation program starts year. So it's your choice. You decide. You can choose your location as well. You can choose a venue that is close to your residence to make it easier for you to reduce whatever to make sure that you're able to sit the exam, the situational judgment test score. So the maximum score for the situational judgment test is 50%. It's 50%. So having passed the UK Foundation Program Office is going to have to round up all the scores to about 50%. I can't go into detail how they do that, because it's usually something that they do themselves. There's a particular system they used to calculate based on the 50%. So if you could get like a 50, you could get 40 something, you could get, it just depends on the score, your actual score in the situational judgment test. For the total educational achievement score, this is usually for those with extra degrees. For this, you have, for those who have extra degrees, and also for publications. For extra degrees, it's a maximum of 5 scores. For those who have publications, it's a maximum of 2. So if you have 1 publication, it's 1. If you have 2 publications, then it's 2. Then let's talk about the degree now. For those who have a first degree, for first class graduates, they get the maximum score. And then for those who have 2-1, they get, I think, 3 points. So if you add all these together, this is totaling about 100. So the total educational performance measure score is an addition of the educational performance measure decile score and the total educational achievements. Remember, I mentioned that the maximum score for the decile score is 43. So if you add the maximum of 7 for the total educational achievement score, that's 43 plus 7, that's 50. And then the situational judgment test score, remember I mentioned that is also 50. So 50 plus 50 gives you 100%. So at the end of the application, towards the end of the application cycle, before the UK Foundation Program Office begins to make their decision on how to rank applicants or how to match applicants to foundation program scores, to foundation program schools or deaneries or unit of applications, they would have had these scores ready, and they make their decision based on these scores. So, and remember, during the application process as well, you would have to rank your deaneries. So for those who have ranked a deanery as number 1 and they get a high score, if they are one of the top scoring applicants for that deanery, they get considered first for the job compared to others who scored lower. I know there have been a lot of news lately regarding the fact that the foundation program is oversubscribed. For a fact, it has been oversubscribed since I can remember, at least since 2020, it has been oversubscribed. And this means that some applicants who score lower than others will be placed on a reserve list, pending if the high scoring applicant meets the conditions of the foundation program. For example, someone who is a high scoring applicant who ends up not passing their PLAB exam would be dropped for someone who is in the reserve list, and the job will be given to such person. So as much as the foundation program is oversubscribed, there is always room to ensure that every applicant, every eligible or every applicant who deserves a job for that year, who meets the conditions of the foundation program, gets a job. I cannot talk much about that. This is just solely based on news and information I have at my disposal at these very points. So now, to move on from the previous slide, now you understand how the UK Foundation Program Office match applicants to their unit of application in the 2-year foundation program. There has been a bit of an update regarding the scores I mentioned earlier. I hope that the previous slides explanations have been able to make you understand how you get the 50-50 ratio for the total foundation program score by adding the SJT and the educational performance measure. However, from foundation program 2023, the educational achievement score has been removed from the foundation allocation process. What this implies is that remember, the educational achievement is a total of 7, which if you add it up to the educational performance measure gives you 50. That's 43 plus 7, that's 50. Removal of this score means that the foundation, the UK Foundation Program Office have to increase the educational performance measure score from 34 to 43 to 41 to 50. To ensure that there is a compensation for the loss of the 7 marks. So as such, from Foundation Program 2023, there will be no educational achievement score. So you just have the educational performance measure, which is the decile score alone, which makes it a total of 50. So you still have a 50-50 ratio between the educational performance measure and the situational judgment test. I will welcome more questions on this because I understand there could be a bit of misunderstanding when it comes to these scores, because there is a bit of math or arithmetic involved in this. So we are running quite fast with time. So at this point, I would like to welcome questions. If you have any questions, thank you.
So the first question that I have for you, Nnamdi, is what year did you graduate and what stage of GMC registration are you at?
I graduated in October 2020. I've had my certificates verified by the GMC and I'm in the process of sitting for the PLAB, and I intend to apply for Foundation Program 2023. Yes.
Perfect. And did you go for the provisional registration or the full route?
I have to go for the provisional registration because, like I mentioned, I haven't completed the GMC pattern of internship, so I'm eligible for the provisional registration. Yeah.
Perfect. I have another question. I think you answered this actually, so I'll change it to this one. The EA score is to do with publications and audits.
The EA score is to do with publications and extra degree. For example, if you're a medical graduate with a first degree, and for those who in addition also have a PhD, because we have well-studied people as well. So the extra degree is 5 points. The publication is 1 point each, so that makes it a total of 7. And the 5 points is allocated based on the degree category. For example, for those who have a first class, second class, upper, lower, third class, and a pass. So they allocate different scores based on the 5 points. So for those who have a first class, I think it's a 5. Then for those who have a 2-1, I think it's a 3. Not too sure, but it should be something thereabout, yes.
Perfect. Okay. One more question. How long did it take for you to get your EPIC verification?
I actually didn't do an EPIC verification. I did everything via the GMC directly. And at the end of the whole process, they said I don't have to do any EPIC verification or ECFMG verification. It took, because I was among the first set of graduates from New Vision University to do that, it took quite a while. I think it took about 5 months thereabouts, but I've been able to communicate with recent graduates who have made me understand that the process is quite reduced now. For some, it would take as little as 2 months or even 1. It depends, yeah. So like I mentioned, it varies per applicant, yes.
Okay, perfect. There's a question here, guys, that I'm going to answer. It says, doesn't SME advertise that FY1 will fall away and we can, after graduation, go into FY2? Can be seen on the website as well? Yes, it does. So how come that you are going for FY1? Because the internship should have been covered by the uni. So Nnamdi is graduating from a non-EU country. I will be graduating from Bulgaria. Therefore, I don't have to sit for the PLAB exam. And I also will not have to do F1. I graduate with something called full registration that Nnamdi spoke about in the presentation. So I can go straight for the FY2 positions. So that's why it's a little bit different for both of us. But in the future, it won't matter if you're starting off now, because I think the UKMLA is going to come in, isn't it, Nnamdi?
Yeah.
So things will change up. So even if you're graduating from Bulgaria, for example, you'll still have to do the UKMLA. You graduate from the UK, you have to do it as well. So that will be that.
Just to add to that, I think the only difference is going to be the fact that we all have to sit the UKMLA. Yeah. But you still get your full registration and you still have to work in an F2 competent position. So it's still the same. So the only difference is the change from PLAB to the UKMLA, I think so, yes.
Perfect. And there's a lot of questions regarding the IELTS exam and the OET. So guys, you do have to sit for the IELTS or OET, any English proficiency exam. That is including whether you're from an EU country like me or from non-EU. It just depends. If you're an international medical student, you do have to sit for the English proficiency exams. I think there was one question, which one's better? I think from what I've heard is that OET is more medical based and IELTS is more general, but IELTS, it works in a lot more other countries than just the UK as well. I think with Canada, America and all the other countries. So it's completely up to you what you choose to do. But yeah, both are absolutely fine. Can
I add to that? For the IELTS, the GMC requires that you sit for the IELTS academic.
Okay.
But for the UKFP, you have an option of either sitting for the IELTS academic or IELTS general.
Okay.
Yes, as this is based on what I know thus far. I don't know what will happen in the next few minutes, but this is what I know. Just for them to take note of that as well. Yes.
Perfect. So yeah, guys, it doesn't matter even if you've got a GCSE English or A-level English, you still have to sit the exam. I've got GCSE English. I don't have A-level, but I've got GCSE. I have studied from the UK, but I still have to do it as well. I will be doing it in the next few months. I'm still trying to figure out when to do it.
Yeah, you'll be all right. Don't worry. Yeah.
I've got my state exams. So I think we've tried to answer as many questions as possible. I'm just gonna have one quick look around what other questions there are, and then I will ask them to Nnamdi. So I am a UK citizen. Do I want to sit for the PLAB after graduating from NVU? Yes, you do. You still have to sit for the PLAB exam. That is until the UKMLA comes into place.
Yes.
I think we've been told the UKMLA is coming into place 2023, 2024, but I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, there'll be a test run at some point next year, but practically it's from 2024. Practically 2024.
Okay, yes. So if you do end up graduating after 2024, guys, you'll be doing something called the UKMLA, which the British students, any international medical students will have to do as well. It's very similar to the USMLE, isn't it? That is the American exam. I think we have answered a lot of questions, guys. So what I'm going to do, guys, Nnamdi did graduate from New Vision University. I'll say that one more time. He graduated from New Vision. He did the 4-year graduate entry program, didn't you?
Yes, yes.
So yeah, if you're graduating from Bulgaria June 2024, most likely you will have to do the UKMLA. I cannot guarantee that yet because we, like Nnamdi just said, that we haven't been given the full information on it just yet. All we've been told is that 2023-2024 test run. So after that, they will release the official information, then we know. I think I graduate this, well, I'm not think I graduate this year. So I, fingers crossed, will not have to do it. But the next year is probably be the trial run and we'll see how it goes. So we're not 100% sure. Oh, Nnamdi, this question, it says, after you complete your degree from New Vision, you don't need FY1, you just need FY2. No, right?
No. You need FY1 because New Vision at the moment doesn't have like an internship with the program. So you are a medical graduate, so you completed the GMC pattern of internship. So you would have to apply for provisional registration with the hope of applying to the 2-year UK Foundation program. So you'd have to start from F1, yes.
Okay, perfect. And then the EU graduates, the ones that are recognized, go straight to FY2.
Yes.
From 2024, UKMLA for all students, whether you're EU, whether you're British and you've graduated from Cambridge and Oxford, or whether you've graduated from any other country, you have to do the UKMLA. English tests already exist, guys. You have to do them from now on. It doesn't matter whether it's after UKMLA comes through. So guys, we've tried to answer as many questions as we could. Would you know this, Nnamdi? How long is the IELTS score valid for? I think it's 2 years.
It's for 2 years. It's for 2 years, yes. 2 years.
Okay.
2 years validity period, yes.
Perfect. And how long did you have between the two PLAB exams?
It depends on you. You could have 6 months, you could have 3 months, you could have, I don't know, because once your PLAB 1 results are out, you could register for PLAB 2. So what you need to register for your PLAB 2 is your PLAB 1 test score, the results. So it just depends on you, I think.
Okay. And guys, from what I know is that the hours on the 4-year course at New Vision is 5,500 hours.
Yes.
Is that correct, Nnamdi? Perfect.
Yes. It's at least 5,500 because, sorry to cut you, it's at least 5,500 because it varies for each student. But as a graduate of New Vision University, you are expected to have at least 5,500 clock hours. Yes.
Perfect. Okie dokie. So guys, I think we've answered as many questions as we could. If there are any more questions that you feel like you want them answered, drop us an email, info@studymedicineeurope.com, and we will try our best to answer any questions that we can. Nnamdi, if you give me my screen back, and what I'll do is I'll carry on with the presentation. And thank you so much. It was an amazing presentation. And I hope to work with you again soon.
Yeah, thank you, Molly. Thank you, everyone. Have a beautiful day. So,
guys, we are going to talk about scholarship. So, SME offers a grand total of 45 scholarships to 2022 applicants through the extension of the SME sponsorship program. So right now, we're doing a lucky draw. And basically there'll be a lucky draw at each of our monthly SME symposiums, selecting 5 winners randomly from the names of all applicants for 2022 admissions who applied for from January onwards. Applications will have 1 additional entry placed in the draw each month after they apply. So the earlier the application is made, the more chances you have to win. These scholarships are valid for 50% of the tuition fees for the entire duration of the undergraduate or graduate medicine or dentistry course. So what I'm going to do now is I have a list of all the names from SME, and what I'm going to do is I've just popped them into a random name picker. And guys, start praying because I'm going to pick 5 names at random. Okie dokie. So these are the 5 names that I have picked. Rita, Ruth, Amma, Eamon, Sana. I don't know if they are in the webinar or not, but what will happen is you will all get an email from SME regarding your 50% scholarships. So these are the names. You can have a look at one more time if you are in the presentation, and if you're not, I will SME will contact you guys very, very soon. Okay. So partners, for these monthly symposiums, I want to say a big thank you to our sponsors, Lecturio, an all-in-one study resource for medical students that combines learning, science, and medical education into one easy-to-use platform. You can access a variety of high-yield medical video lectures, take a closer look at the human body with scientifically accurate 3D anatomy models, test your knowledge and assess your learning progress by answering interactive quiz questions, prepare for exams using the most advanced question bank available. Even better, all of Lecturio's exam-style clinical case questions include text and video explanations. So I've got the website at the bottom, which is www.lecturio.com. Right, feedback. So we've got a feedback form. We've got the capture here, which you can scan, and we've also got the form on the left. What I recommend is that you do fill out the feedback form, because once you fill it out, we offer a Lecturio discount for everyone that's attended the webinar. So look at the Lecturio discount code once you fill in the feedback form. And also what will happen is one of you lucky winners will get a free lecture, a 6-month program for Lecturio for free. So only one of you will be getting that. So I really recommend that you do fill in the feedback form so you get a chance to get that. It's a 6-month program, and you'll get one for free. So one student will get that. And also we need to give you your certificates for attendance. So once you've got the feedback form, your certificate for attendance and your Lecturio discount will come via email. My official name will be on there. It's Anmal Sandhu, guys. So just put that out there. And I just want to say a big thank you to everyone who participated and watched our webinar today. If you do have any other questions, we'll try and answer them, or you can ask via email. Do not forget to fill out the feedback form, guys. It's really, really important, so you can get your certificate of attendance and Lecturio discount code. Every month we will aim to do these webinars, so tune in next month again for a different medical topic. And I saw some suggestions in the question and answer regarding registration in other countries, so I will try and fit those in the future webinars if possible, and symposiums if possible. So just lastly, I want to say a big thank you to Dr. Nnamdi. Thank you so much for
Thank you, Molly.
joining me today. It was a lovely presentation.
I had a good time. Thank you.
Perfect. And I will see you very soon. And thank you for everyone who joined in today.